Hi, welcome back. And if you are new here, my name is Nevaeh, and today we are going to be painting a mountain sunset scene. So, first things first, I'm going to mix my colors. And the first color I'm going to start with is a darkish purple. So far. So, as you can see here, I'm using this purple, and I'm going to mix it in here. Move that over there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start with the dark purple. I'm going to go ahead and add this purple. Oops. And a little bit of black to that. Not the biggest amount. Just a tiny bit. Don't ever need that much. Just that much. It's probably too much. So if that's a little too much, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of purple. So this purple. And by the way, this is from Crayola. This is where I got it from. Right here. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of white to that because I don't trust that that's going to be light enough. But I'm just going to add the smallest bit of white, as you can see here. This doesn't take too much. Okay. This smallest bit of white, as you can see there. It's all the way I'm going to add. And now I'm going to mix this together. Okay. I knew I thought that was going to be too much black, so I'm going to take this purple that fell right there on the side and slowly scoop it up and put it there. Okay. And I have some purple already mixed up here. I'm going to use that light one. Okay, and let me go ahead and mix that and see if that will be a good reference of a color. Yes, okay. Now this can be a little bit more purple, so that's what I'm going to do. And it can be honestly a little bit darker, but this isn't that bad of a color. From a reference that I've done before. Now that needs to be darker. Oh, well, no, that actually is pretty good. So that's actually perfect. I am going to take a little bit of this. Well, no, I'm going to leave that there. Now the next color we're going to need is like a pinkish purple. I already have that perfect color. I already have the perfect pinkish purple color in my swatch set of colors that I've made before, just testing out what colors could look like and stuff. So I already have the perfect color that I think would go good with this painting. And I'm going to put it in that one. Don't need too much. Now, to be warned, this pink one right there is a little bit chunky, but this purple one isn't. It's because that's set in this container right here for so long, but it's fine. It's not expired or anything. It's still perfectly good working paint. Okay. The next color we're gonna need is like an orangish color, and I say I can add a little bit of this one right here. I'm gonna put that in that space. The perfect color for this is probably that color right there, and the pinkish purplish color I had was right there. I'm gonna get a little bit more orange because I feel like I'm gonna need it, and I might add a little bit of the white to that because it needs to be like a pastel-ish color. It needs to be like a pastelish orange. I mean, it basically already is, but it needs to be like more like pastel. And then after this, we have yellow. So we will do yellow in just a second. I do not already have one mixed up in my little thing over here, so I will have to make some. So since I don't need this for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I'm going to add some more white to the orange. Now I'm going to go ahead and add quite a bit of white in this yellow one that we're going to do, and the one for yellow, because we're going to need a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white to make it a pastel. And trust me, it will take quite a bit. Okay, now that that's more of like a skin tone-ish kind of orange and pastel-ish at least, that is good. So now I'm going to take this yellow. It is Naples yellow, and the black was just black, so yeah. But I'm going to use Naples yellow, just a little bit of that. We don't need too much yellow because this canvas isn't that large. This is the canvas that I'm using. I do not know how big it is. I want to say it's like a 8x5 possibly, but that might be a little too big. So it could be like a 6x5, but not exactly sure. I'm going to add some neon yellow from the Artist Loft neon colors. That just adds it a little bit more of like a neon kind of pastel color. And I'm going to use this one that I used for the orange, but I'm going to try my best to wipe it off. That is why I have a paper towel right over here on this other side. You cannot see. I'm sorry. Okay. Because I don't need this right now, I'm going to move this really quickly. Okay. I'm going to move this over there. Won't even tell the difference. These are the main colors that I'm using. And this is the paper towel I'm using. And this one is just called gray. I'm going to look at this and see if it's like an actual gray. I don't know if it actually is. It looks more silver on the container to me, as you can tell. So if not, I can add more. Okay, that is like the perfect gray for mountains. So that is amazing. That is literally like the perfect gray. Now, I don't really need to like mix it up or anything because it's good like that. So yeah, I'm gonna put that there and set those in there. Okay, I'm gonna set this right here, and I'm gonna find me a brush. These are the brushes I'm gonna be using, and to be honest, I'm probably gonna start off with that one. This one, I'm probably gonna start off with this one. I recommend these brushes because the bristles don't come off. They're nice and soft and absorb water very easily and paint, honestly. And they're actually not that bad. Like, they're really good. And you can use them on acrylic paint, which is basically all the paint that I'm using now, because all of these in this set is acrylic, and these are acrylic paint. You can use it in watercolor, oil paint, and all kinds of other stuff, honestly. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is I'm going to take some water here, and I'm just going to lightly brush it across the back of the canvas. This you don't have to do, but to me, this just helps the paint spread out a little bit more even, and spread out the paint a little bit more, because then it can water it down a little bit, and it'll still be the same color and everything, because this water is just literally clear, and it will help it get like normal. So yeah, that'll help it. Don't mind that it looks orange. It's fine. It's not gonna like change the color or anything. Now, hopefully if your paint is a little bit thick, it will stay. But I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this purple first, the darkest purple that we made. Really the only purple that we made. And I'm gonna go over where we did the water. Now, as you can see, the water is spreading out as soon as it hits the water. Now, you might not want to put as much water as I did if you're using the water method, but it's fine. Okay, and I'm going to get more purple and layer it on top. The more that you add on when it's wet, kind of the better, but not exactly all the time. Because sometimes it can like take away from when you're painting, but that's all. Now, if you want to make this thicker, you can add more of like a paint like this one, but that would make it lighter. But I might add a little bit of this color because it is a little bit dark. Well, no, because that's more of a metallic, so I'm not going to add that. But I will add this one, and it is called Perm Blue Violet. And it's in this set that I have from Cat Crafts for All. And I'm just going to add a little bit on the canvas, not in my color, just in case. If it is, I'm going to mess up the paint that I have on this. I'm going to move this over a little bit more. I'm going to turn the camera a little bit just so you can see a little bit better, because this is a little bit sideways. Okay, I'm going to change this just a little bit. Okay, sorry for all the difficulties. As you can see, those are my colors that I'm using right here. These are the colors that I'm using at the moment, but this is the painting so far. I'm going to leave the camera like that. I'm sorry that almost fell. My first actual video, so it's a little bit hard. For all the people that think it's actually easy, that haven't done YouTube for long. Like, I haven't so far. This is just like my 6th, 7th day, possibly. So yeah. But I am done fixing that. Now, let's go back over this with this purple. Now, I'm going to let this dry just a little bit. And while this dries, we're going to do the second color, which is pink. Now, I want you to notice how I'm not going to be blending the pink and the purple. Well, first of all, I'm going to make this purple a little bit lighter first. So I'm going to add this into another one like this. As you can see, I'm going to add this. Now you can do this beforehand, before you start painting, but this is just what I'm going to do at the moment for the sake of time for the video. I'm going to do that. Now I am going to add white paint to lighten that like it needs to be. And a little bit of white paint lasts a long, long way. See, that's all I added. I'm going to use the same exact brush because if you do this, it can help you blend it out later because your brush has already been through each and every single color. So I'm going to go ahead and do this color next. Now, to be honest, if you're using this size canvas, you might not want to do it up so high. But, yeah. Now you see how that's different in color? Yeah. And you see how I'm not wetting the rest of my board? It's because my brush is already wet. Now, the only part that we're going to be blending so far is this purple all the way down to the light purple that we made. And will just help it contrast a little bit better when you're adding on the other colors and trying to pay attention to how it is set up, honestly. And now I'm going to go in with this pinkish purple color right here. And I'm going to go ahead and go like this. Now if you see it, how it's like a little bit purplish from those colors, it's just because I didn't wash my brush well enough. So you guys must be careful to wash your brushes carefully before you go on to the next color. Especially when you go from a pinkish purple to a yellow or an orange. Or an orange or a yellow to a gray or a purple, because that will mess up the colors very, very much. Okay. See how I'm slowly adding it up, and I'm not exactly going straight up toward the top and going like that. I'm going like this. Well, yes, that's what you should do. And now you see how I'm slowly blending it. Not that much, but I'm blending it while it's still a little wet. And the reason why you should do it while it's a little wet is because it will contrast better and easily be able to see how you're painting it better, in my opinion. Now this is the part where I'm going to wash my brush really good, or I'm going to get a different brush. Now at this point, I'm going to get a different brush. And I'm going to use one of the medium-sized brushes. And it is the tan-tipped brush. Like this. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with this orange. Notice how I didn't wet my brush. It's because they're new brushes. They don't really need to be washed, honestly. They can just easily be flattened out like that on both sides. You just don't want to press them down so hard that they split. Like, but it'll show me. It won't even let me show you. It knows that I shouldn't be doing that. Honestly. What I mean is you don't want to press it down so hard that it looks like this, because this is one of my older brushes that I've had. And same thing with this one. This is what you don't want to do. You don't want to press it down like that. That is a no-no. You shouldn't do that. That will mess up the brush and break it. And that's when you have to put it in hot water and have the bristles go back down or something. You don't want to do that. So you don't do that to the brushes. And you just paint from left to right like this. Now I'm going to keep on going in with a little bit of orange. Slowly, you notice how I'm barely ever touching that line where the pink is, because you don't want to blend it just yet. Because that's when the big brushes come in, is you use that to fully go out and blend it. And that's what helps you go a little bit faster with the blending, at least. Now I'm going to paint 2 other ones later on my channel, whenever. I don't know when, so possibly like a week from now, I might post them like 4 weeks, or not 4 weeks, like a week in between each other. So yeah, and post like other individual videos in between, or I can post all 4 of them in the next like 6 days. So that's might be what I do. I don't exactly know yet, but all I know so far is that we are gonna have 4 after we're done with the end of this 4 painting series. And we're gonna have, I'll show you the other paintings because, well, yeah, but we're not done with the other paintings yet. So, well, I'm done with the other ones. This is the 3rd one. And then I have 2 other ones and this one. And then I have another video coming up that's going to be my one that I don't know how to do exactly yet, but I'm going to try. This one I haven't done before, but I'm attempting to. And I'm slowly going to go down with that orange and slowly bring it up this time, because this is where this is getting so low down to the bottom that after we put the mountains, it's going to be very hard to see the yellow and the orange because they're so far down below. So I might just move up my colors in just a second. I don't know, because moving up your colors, being a beginner, is not that easy. So, yeah. And you see how that's like that? All you gotta do is mix that in and then keep on blending. That's all you gotta do. And you can see how I don't care if I'm touching the orange. That's because orange and yellow, it doesn't matter, because it's such a golden yellow color that I have that it doesn't matter, because it'll just make it even more of the perfect golden pale yellow that it is. Honestly. I'm going to turn the camera over just a little bit. I noticed that it was messing up again. I'm sorry. That's doing that? Okay. Let's keep on going. Now, you want to be careful not to leave your paints out too long, because it will mess up. And this right here is the yellow that I've been using. That one right there is the yellow that I've been using. Now, as you can see, don't mind my missing nail. It's very missing. Yeah, don't mind that. I'll try my best to keep my hands off the video. I'm using that yellow. Move that over just a little bit. So you can see how this is getting higher. That's going to slowly blend in. So it doesn't matter if that slowly gets a little bit higher, because like you see how that is, I just blended that in with the orange. So it doesn't matter, honestly, if it actually gets blended in. Now as you can see, I'm not doing the yellow that low. It's because the mountains, the way that the mountains are going to go, it's going to come down a little bit and you're barely going to be able to see the yellow. So that's just the thing. And that's why you don't need to make that much yellow, honestly, is because you're not going to see